Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahushai, Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahushai, Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bahashim, Rachak, the blessings to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, Jubel. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there, you Akim to Zadakim, that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. I'm the priest Shimon. This week's topic is going to be entitled Seek Him, and when you find Him, seek Him 10 times more. And I'm gonna jump right into it, man. First of all, how do you seek and find Yahweh Bashim Yahushai? Well, it starts with this right here. This is the book of Isaiah 34:16. It says, "Seek ye out of the book of the Lord," and that's where it starts. It starts with these holy scriptures. You know, a lot of our people, you know, they get into a lot of shit, especially like, you know, that 125th Street mentality, that Mars Hill mentality of trying to seek a million things. You know, because the scriptures does say in the book of Romans 11 chapter, Israel has not obtained that which he speaketh for, Romans 11:7, right? But the election have obtained it. So they are seeking a higher power, but the problem is, and you know, there's a lot to blame. You know, the Christian church, propaganda, what have you, or just the blindness of our people. They want to seek out of everything. Nah, man, the scripture says, "Seek ye out of the book of the Lord." So that's first, when you're trying to find truth, the higher power, the breakdown of everything, the understanding, the meaning of life is found right here in these scriptures. It says, and read, right, and read. Now, you know, scriptures in Proverbs 4:17 says we're all like get understanding. You know, how do you get understanding? Psalms 119, through thy precepts I get understanding from a teacher. All right, you need a teacher. The scriptures don't say from a teacher, but I'm saying you got to get that from a teacher, because remember Philip said to the Ethiopian eunuch, "Understand what thou readest," and he said, "Look, how can I unless somebody teach me?" Now, who are the teachers? The apostles, the elders of Great Millstone, the brothers, you know, in like-mindedness. Because the scriptures tell you that you're going to hear a voice telling you, you know, this is the way, walk ye in it. So that's first things first. You need a teacher, you need a guide, all right? Well, that second thing, after you seek the book, when you seek the book, you got to get understanding. You get understanding and proper breakdowns from the correct teachers, all right? It says, no one of these shall fail. What's not going to fail? These prophecies. That's what separates the Holy Bible above every other Bible. It's a book that deals with prophecy. And, you know, Isaiah 55:11, Isaiah 14:24, you know, tells you, okay, no, 24:14 tells you that, look, pretty much that these words are not going to go out void. And as the Most High has purpose, so shall it stand. So that's this book that, you know, that we're dealing with, all right? A prophetic book, a book also that deals with salvation, which is what our people need, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, okay? It says, none shall want her mate, meaning you can't mate this book with other books, man, all right? Hey, this wisdom is likened unto woman, right? And two women ain't supposed to lie down with each other, right? So you're not supposed to be mating the scriptures with any other thing, man. You know, you could use reference books, all right? You know, there's different manuscripts out there that support, you know, what we say, historic events, you know, stuff like that. But in terms of, you know, mixing philosophies and shit like that, you know, that's what ended up how you have the Nicaea. That's how come our people believe in hell. They mix Greek mythologies with the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that leads to big confusion. All right. It says, "For my mouth it have commanded me." For my mouth had commanded, and His Spirit it hath gathered them. Right. So, you know, so pretty much, you know, when you're gonna seek the Most High, seek Him out this book. Also, when you're gonna seek the Most High, it's better to do it much sooner than later. All right. The scriptures tell you this in the book of Ecclesiastes 12:1. It says, "Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth," right? Because a young man's mind is more malleable. Why you think Esau attacks the youth? All right, when Esau puts out his philosophy and propaganda, is geared towards the younger generation through TikTok, Instagram, and all these different shit. Because the older generation is their mind is already pretty much molded. You know, it's very hard to change their mind. That's how come when these women are dressing crazy and all kinds of crazy shit happening, they try to tell you a man is a woman, a woman's a man. You see a lot of older people from an older generation saying, "No, wait, that's bullshit." But you see a lot of younger generation, and it just takes a few of them, all right, to start to be influenced by this propaganda, right? Because once you get the younger generation influenced, guess what? They're going to influence their kids, and then it just passes on down. So that could be done in righteousness as the scriptures prescribe, or it could be done in wickedness as Esau is doing with his philosophies and wine. It says, remember now the Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. And evil days or bad times are quickly approaching. So now is the time, and it's always a time, just to seek the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Seek the Most High as young and soon as possible. And now, as the title says, now that you went into the book, now that you found your teachers, preferably you're doing this at a young age, guess what? Now, what you got to do is this. This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4, and it should be 28. Baruch 4:28 reads, For as it was your mind to go astray from the Most High. Now, how did we go astray from the Most High? A lot of it unwillingly. We didn't know this whole thing about being Israel and all that. You know, we was brought up in a Christian church, and they just, you know, feeding us a bunch of bullshit. But it was all, you know, set up in the spirit that way. It says, so being returned, now that we came back, we woke up. The Most High put us in remembrance. Book of James, right? It says, book of Jude, all right? It says, so being returned, seek him 10 times more. Now that we woke the fuck up, all right? Now we got to go extra hard at the Most High, you know? Now, like Shamal was saying, he was teaching, pre-Shamal, he was teaching, and he said, look, man, you know, this truth is honey, as the scripture says, but some Jake be like Winnie the Pooh. You know, they just you don't want to overindulge and choke on this thing, you know? Seeking 10 times more, being diligent, you know, slowly and steadily growing in this truth and being consistent. Because in the world, going to church don't really mean shit, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't really, you know, because you could still do whatever and, you know, just come back and pray. And you got niggas like Young Dolph, you know, before he dropped dead, said, you know, I'm paying my Tyson drug money. So people don't really see the church as some sort of real reformation, some real sort of change, right? But trust me, when you come in this thing, you get baptized with that fire, you feel the change, all right? Now, this is the book of Psalms 22 and 10. It says, I was cast upon thee from the womb. Now, the reason I wanted to use the Psalms, because this Psalm is David, because Jeremiah was chosen from the womb. In the book of Galatians, the Apostle Paul speaks about coming from the womb, all right? And now King David is speaking about getting cast in this thing from the womb. It says, I was cast upon thee from the womb. Thou art my power from my mother's belly. Be not far from me, for trouble is near, for there is none to help. So the thing is, again, the womb, young, all right? Young. If you notice, a lot of brothers too, sort of even before we came in this truth, we believe in the Most High. We had the zeal, but not according to knowledge, right? So that this truth has been germinated and resonated in us from a very, again, from the womb. All right. The book of Psalms 71 and 17 says, O Yahweh, thou hast taught me from my youth. Right, from my youth, when I'm young, man. Okay, when my mind, a lot of brothers came in their teens, early 20s, you know, some brothers a bit later. Okay, but again, that's when the mind can be shaped. That's when it's malleable. That's when you could, you know, and also you can relate a lot too with the younger generation, you know, because, you know, when you get older, you stop listening to some of the bullshit stuff. You know, you can't really, you're not really in tune with that stuff. Your mind is other things. But, you know, when you're younger, you can still reach out and relate to that younger audience as well. Okay, it says, O Yahweh, thou hast taught. It says, thou hast taught me from my. Turn up. It says, O Yahweh, thou hast taught me from my youth, and hither have I declared thy wondrous works. Right. So from a young child, again, David, you know, declaring the wondrous works of the Most High. 18. Now also when I am old and gray-headed, O Yahweh, forsake me not. Right. So you come in this thing, and you die in this thing, or you know, until the Most High takes you, until, you know, you pretty much, you don't, this becomes a lifestyle. But being an Israelite, teaching this truth, it's a life, it's a part of you now, you know. It's not a trend. It's not, I'm just doing this, and no, it's a lifestyle, you know. It says, O Yahweh, forsake me not until I have showed thy strength unto this generation. So Meaning King David was like, yo, I want to, teach this coming generation as well. This generation I'm in now. And thy power to everyone that is to come. So this thing is supposed to be taught to the young. Make them get it. Make sure they also teach it to the coming generation. All right? Our people should be seeking the Lord. You see? Now look, a bulk of our people, they, a lot of shit's going to have to happen for them to really snap to it. As the scripture says it in the book of Hosea 5:15, in their affliction they shall seek me early. Don't forget, man, a lot of people are watching, I remember there's somebody that came up to camp that said he was in the gym and he knew all of us, but they took a time before they came out to the camp. But people watch this, people know, and when Jake starts seeing crazy shit happen and the miracles, that's when a lot of them is going to turn around. Now book of 2 Timothy 3:15 says, look, it says 2 Timothy 3:15, and that from a child thou hast known the holy scriptures. From a child thou hast known the holy scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation. And that's what separates this truth from money, rubies, whatever, treasures, women, all that. None of those things can save you. Scriptures, that's what deals with salvation. It says through faith, which is in Yahushua, right? And another thing too is, like, when you come in this truth, you have to be a newborn babe, a newborn suckling, and again, that's easier when you're also actually physically younger, you know what I'm saying? Again, because not all the times, but a lot of times, a man that's been walking the world for X amount of years, he's sort of set in his ways, you know what I mean? So that's why the Lord, said, look, man, the Lord don't say wait till a particular age to start teaching this gospel and knowledge to the nation of Israel. Man, as soon as they but as soon as they're babies, man, just start, putting that vibration towards your kids. You see? I'm gonna read it. Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in thy youth. Salakia. Train up in a child in the way he should go. So a child, young. And when he is old, he will not depart from it, right? So the same way people are setting their ways in wickedness, you could also have an individual setting his ways in righteousness. How is that so? You start teaching them righteousness from a little kid. That's all they know. Again, you just look at this current generation. Look at the woman that's dressing half naked in the summer, so career driven. They think in their mind that's what they want. They think, okay, this is me independently wanting this, but they don't know that that's from decades, all right, of feminism and propaganda making them think that, because at the end of the day, we're all programmed, everybody's going to be programmed. Are you going to program that particular person in righteousness or wickedness? All right, and our goal is to program the younger generation, all right, namely the elect of our people, all right, in righteousness, that they could stay in it, teach it to their kids, all right, and mold them and be steadfast and hard-headed to righteousness. All right, so with that, I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushua, Ba'Hashem Kodash, the blessings to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone True Well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there, you Akim to Zadakim that do this thing in the most truth and sincerity. Shalom.